All right, look like we are live, ladies. All righty. You know, we always check our phones, make sure we're coming up.
We do, we
So we
do.
can be where we need to be. Yep, I am live. I see myself.
Let me get it.
All right.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna tell you, life is always lifing, and
It
things
is.
happen in the background. And let me say this, really, for all you people out there, show grace, because the things that are big irritants right now, trust me, when they are gone, they will not be irritants anymore. You will be missing them.
You will. You
So that's
will.
the real part.
It
Yes,
is. Funny story. So Nika just joined into our audience before we went live, right? You heard, see my great colleagues here were real nice and they said, "Are them your kids that are here? Them your kids?" Yes, they are. You heard them way on the first level. Yeah, they're mine. And so real life things happen, y'all. Real life
yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And it's summertime, and kids are energized.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
That's part of life. That's part of CEOism,
It is.
leadership. That's part of life. Part of being human beings. And those of you all who are mothers or step in the place of a mother, you
Mm,
know, and take that role on. It's just all a part of who we are as pretty much. So,
absolutely.
welcome to those of you all who I see are popping in live. We like to see when we have a few live people come by. We do this every Wednesday. Our goal is to do it every Wednesday to have a chat with you all out there who are growing your businesses. And we want
Yeah.
to help you own your CEOism, as people say, right? Own that particular role. So we're going to hop in and just introduce ourselves and then let the conversation take form. We're talking about, I believe I put in the description of this one, you know, how do you keep your team engaged and motivated to be productive, to be, you know, to show up. Okay, let's start with showing up, to show up and be productive in what it is that they're doing and helping you carry out and fulfill your own vision and your dream for your business. And then what are they doing to be part of that? And how do you keep them engaged and motivated? So, just to kick it off real quick, I am Delmar Johnson. I'm the founder of the brand's HR Brain for Hire and the tech brand expandhr.co, and I help you all who are small businesses, particularly primarily women, high performing women business owners who are ready to transition from being the talent in your business to being the CEO of your business. And I do that with helping you implement HR best practices that help you to be compliant and not complacent. I'm going to kick it over to Lisa so we can do a round robin of introducing ourselves.
Well, hey, it's Wednesday, and I'm so excited to be here sharing this stage with these three amazing HR professionals, as always. So, I'm Lisa Ely, and I am the CEO of the Purple Squirrel Group, where we show small businesses how to profit from team building, scaling, and just making your team amazing, right? To give you the space to do and the freedom to do the things that you want to do. So I'm going to toss it over to Letitia and let's go.
Hey, I am Letitia B. Russell, one half of Russell Craigwell HR Consulting. We support and provide small to medium sized businesses with that might have staff development needs with your training and development needs. And so we really hone in and help you and assist you through all things training and development, executive coaching. I'm super excited to be here with you all. Got some amazing things that are coming down, and we are happy to be here. I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to my HR partner, Nanika M. Craigwell.
Hello. So now I feel compelled to change my title to the company name because, as you heard, I am the other half of Russell Craigwell Consulting. We specialize in all things HR. We've been at this thing for a combined total. The number keeps going up. So I'm going to just give y'all a nice wrap of 40 years. I'm going to stop it right there because then I start telling my age. So hopefully you can learn something. Thank you for being on, whether it's live or the replay. get with us. So again, I'm Nanika Craigwell. Nice to be here with y'all this evening. Like Delmar always says, like out here living real life. I don't know what y'all can see in my background because I changed my desk. I forgot to change it back. So hopefully all y'all see is this blue wall. Let me know.
Yeah. All we see is the blue wall.
That's all we see.
Okay.
Greetings for all that have joined us today. I see some of you in the chat, and so thank you so much. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing it right. Is it Zakaya? Beautiful name. Hopefully, I did your name justice, but absolutely gorgeous name. So thank you so much for joining us.
Most definitely. Well, ladies, let's just kick it off. We're talking about helping these CEOs out here, these entrepreneurs, these growing empires out here about incorporating the dynamics and the power of HR in their small business, and the necessity of it too. The necessity of it as they continue to grow and add to their team, add to their client base, and all the things that go with those who are growing a business, no matter the size of the business. And today we're talking about, how are they keeping, how are you keeping your team engaged and motivated to be productive, to show up, to take, ownership in what it is that they're doing in your business, and, what talent have they brought to the table that you're making sure they're staying engaged and really feel of value in your business and not just a warm body. So how are you taking the time to engage and keep them motivated? So I'm just going to just kick off the conversation there. And ladies, y'all join in where you will. Uh-oh.
All right, Letitia.
All right. I was talking on mute. I was having a whole conversation on mute, y'all. And so I will say, let's make sure that you all share this live. I forgot to ask you all to do that. And so if you are chiming in, please make sure you share it, tag a friend, a business partner. But just when I think about keeping your employees engaged, right? It truly is thinking about it from a lens of not just what they are doing today, right? They're here, they're going to perform this job for us, and they're not leaving. I challenge y'all to think outside of that, because employees have options these days, right? And so when you think about what can I do to make sure we're keeping them engaged, it's not just the things that we used to do years ago of, hey, let's just bring lunch in, right? We're in a virtual environment, so we're challenged with that. It's not as accessible or easy to do that. And so thinking about things like having conversations with your employees to find out, how are you doing, right? And maybe it's, hey, let's have no meeting Fridays, right? Let's have half days where we take no meetings. You block your calendar. And I remember a leader did that, and it was amazing just to have that day where we knew on Fridays we can knock out some work, but at the end of the day, we knew our calendar was blocked and we didn't have to deal with having a bunch of Zoom meetings on a Friday, right? So thinking about things like that, maybe it's, hey, take your half day and then go do whatever it is that you need to do. And so thinking about some of those things outside of the box that will help you retain the talent that you currently have.
Most definitely.
Anybody?
Because we're living, I was agreeing with you, we're living in a different world when it comes to the world of work, right? When it comes to the world of work and how it's being done, a lot of people are obviously on site because we're 3 years out from, the pandemic. So we're out from that, and, we don't know what's to come. Okay. We don't know what's to come. But right now, most people, most businesses, big and small, have people on site, but because we talk so much about the small business and those that are continuing to grow and maybe have, a team of 50 and less on their team, a lot of them are still remote, or hybrid if they have a physical location. But there's so many small businesses out there now who can operate without being inside of a building. And of course, it depends on what industry they're in and what they're doing. So you do have to get creative, I think, and think outside the box. Look up resources. There's books out there that talks about, how to keep engaged and think outside the box with that, and not like the normal that you said, Letitia's, like, bringing in food or whatever it may be. It's like your remote team is not going to have that food.
Yeah.
them engaged and motivated. So there's so many resources and tools out there to use now to be able to, allow yourself to think outside the box. So
Absolutely.
yeah. Lisa or Nico?
Okay, so y'all know I always have to have my glasses, my pen, my paper. I got all.
It would not be you if you do not do that.
Oh my goodness.
Notice I went ahead and changed my title. 20 plus years in HR. So I think I'm gonna just play around with that when we talk to our audience. But everything that you all have said really resonates. Being creative, thinking outside the box. There are some traditional ways people engage, and we learned some new ways when COVID happened or whatever. But one thing that I want to add to that is you can be as creative as you want to be, but if you are not in touch with your workforce and you don't know what they want, or you don't, what do they say? One of my favorite sayings is read the room, right? If you don't know who these folks are, you can bring in pizza, have Taco Tuesday, and people will be unmoved by your efforts. So you need to make sure you have an understanding of whom it is that you are working with so you can really cater to their needs on some level. Everybody might not have the budget for pizza every other Friday, or food on holidays. So what else is there, and what has your employee population communicated to you that they want? There's all kind of cool, cute stuff you could do. You could do freeze pop Fridays. My team is about to do Wildin' Out Wednesdays. They are super creative, but you know why they're able to come up with that? Because they have a workforce that they've gone out, they've talked to, and they are willing to do those things with them and for them and participate. So before you start asking people to raise their hands and be a participant, make sure you are putting out activities and things that they want to be engaged in. Or what you will find is that it will fall flat, and then you'll be feeling some kind of way because it didn't work out. And then you'll be resentful and just feel like, you know what, they don't appreciate the things I do, so I'm not going to do anything. But you never asked me. You never asked me what I wanted, and you didn't read the room to find out if you were catering to your workforce or just doing the things that you like. So all of what the ladies said, but make sure it matches up with your workforce. So I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, I totally agree with all of that stuff. Like, really amazing. And Nanika, if you're not asking the team what they want, it could just be falling on deaf ears, right? And it might as well be nothing. But I'll share this with you. I work with one of the most amazing, impactful, and our company and team literally maxed out all of our profits when I worked in corporate. And engagement for this individual was really engaging with people where they were and making a connection to them. So also think about, and it didn't necessarily, so time, yes, it costs time and effort, but it didn't cost any money. And I will say the president of a company I work for literally just walked around and talked to people. Can you imagine? Like, literally just talking to people about what's happening, what's going on, asking them about the pictures maybe that's in on their desk or in their cube, what they did this past weekend, what they would change in the company, what they would do different, what they thought about the last town hall. So sometimes as the leader, get out of your office and into where the people are. Like, literally get in the game and connect with people on their level. And at the end of the day, it is so valuable. And guess what? For those of you who might have budgets or constraints that are related to that, sometimes literally just connecting and talking is worth so much in engagement.
That's a good point. The other thing I wanted to say, just kind of to lend to that, is most leaders will have one-on-ones, right? Even being in this virtual space, you are having one-on-ones with your folks. But what we fail to do is reach them where they are, right? Kind of, it's not, and what I mean by that, it is not always business, right? We have a job to do, we get that. But we are moving so fast these days that we fail to understand and realize that our people are human as well. And so the words to simply say, how are you doing today? right? And it's not just about business, right? Did we make this sale today? And so again, it's really we challenge you to and to know your individual that is working with you, for you, reporting to you, but making sure that you are connecting with them on a different level. Now, some might say, I don't get into all the personal stuff, right? I don't really want to add. Got it. We're not asking you to share your deepest, darkest secrets, but being able to connect with your people is vital, right? It's all about retention and how do we retain them? And it's them wanting to feel heard and them wanting to feel as if my leader cares enough to want to ask, how are you doing today, right? How is the family today? And so just challenging you to kind of step out. What I'm going to say is stepping out of your own way, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable and doing something different in order to get some different results. Like y'all hear my kids in the background? That's just humanizing. How are the kids today? Y'all, how are the kids today? Exactly. At this point, right? And so it's doing that type of thing, especially with people working in a virtual environment today.
Yes. And you know what, Lisa, I'm glad you, stepping back to what you said, I'm glad you said the words budget constraints, because a lot of people that's going to be watching this are actually small business owners that probably got less than 10 people on their team. And they're watching every dollar on that budget. But being that there's so many ways still out there, even when you are a micro business and maybe don't have the 100 employees, maybe don't have the 50 employees or 25, but you have enough of a team that's helping you build your dream. So that means then there still are people on your team, even when it's a micro business with a small team, where you have to keep even your small team motivated and engaged. And of course, you know what? Let me not just put it all on the business owner. You want people that will actually come with their own internal motivation too. You will hope that is, what you get when you are, sourcing talent and building your team with new candidates or people that's been on your team for a while that may sometimes get complacent, or stalemated. Like, you want people to actually bring their own motivation too, and actually someone who would ask questions like, okay, how can I really be involved? How can I take ownership of the role that you hired me for? What would be the best use of the skills and talents that I said that, I'm bringing to the table, or that I've cultivated since I've been working with you the past 6 months, or the past year or whatever. So it's good to have those kind of people who come with their own internal motivation, but then you as the one that is, navigating that ship, right? You're you're driving that ship, if you will. It's like, you really need to know, okay, take what they have, what it is that actually motivates them, how what do I want to say? How they want to be that involved in it or want to be engaged, because they see the vision, all right? They see the long-term and short-term vision of your business. So it's not just on you, but you are the leader, you are the keeper, all right? You are the keeper of that dream and of that vision. So you need to know it, obviously, as much or more than the person that's on your team, but you want that team member to also have a little bit of their own internal motivation. And then when those come together and collide together, it's like, hey, you got, you can have some magic going on. So hopefully that made some sense. I had it in my head. You know how sometimes you have things in your head, but it's not coming out of your mouth, right? Absolutely. So hopefully that made sense.
Absolutely. Any questions? I was actually looking to see if we had any questions that came from the audience at all.
And while you're looking at that, I want people to know why we're here. You see the title of People First Summit on our cute little overlay here and everything, but the peoplefirstsummit.com is why we're here, why we're continuing to be in front of you. It's like, and those of you all who want to take ownership of your CEOism, all right, want to be able to source out and delegate those things that you really should not be doing at a certain point in your business anymore, even though you know how to do it. That's great. Wonderful. We all know how to do a lot of things. We all have to learn to let go and delegate and source out and things like that. Some are better than that than others, but we're all in this together. So we invite you to actually check out People First Summit. Our early bird special is still going on, and who doesn't love an early bird ticket? And if you're growing a business and you're not investing in yourself, then that's a hobby, or that's how you grow the business without investing in yourself at whatever level that you choose to invest in yourself. But the early bird ticket of $397 for a 2 day, one and a half day event. If you get the VIP, I believe the early bird is $797. We got a lot of great things that are planned. It's August 4th and August 5th. So we invite you to check that out. And we invite you to also share it with others who are in your own entrepreneur network where you probably know them personally and you see how they're evolving in their business, and they need to be in the room as well. Or you believe they need to be in the room as well. Invite them, share this out. Don't keep it to yourself. So you go to peoplefirstsummit.com. So I want to make sure, we shared, while we're here, why are we here to also not only, drop some nuggets on you, drop some tips, some things, thought provoking things that'll keep you moving forward, but for you all to get to know us as we're on this pathway to going to People First Summit. So make sure you check that out.
So I want to, before we wrap today, if ladies, if you don't mind, and chime in, but I want to just quickly talk about the title, right? And so we chose the People First Summit for a couple different reasons. And so when most people think about HR, what comes to mind, right? Hiring and firing. That's what we always hear. HR hires and fires. And so we are so much more. And so when you think about us and HR and People First, we really are your advocates, right? We are the individuals that do much more. Matter of fact, we really don't do the hiring and firing. Let's really keep it real. And so when you think about that, I want you to start to shift your perspective and your mindset on how HR truly supports business owners, really. And we've talked about maybe 4 different topics here, right? Performance management. How do you keep your folks engaged? So much more. But I just wanted to just simply take a moment to make mention of that in the event that you're like, okay, what is People First Summit, right? Because I don't know if we ever really explained that. But we are all HR professionals. But we also want you to know that it's so much more than what the stigma has been, what's attached to HR. And so I just wanted to take a quick moment just to make sure that we explain that part to you.
And if I could add something to that just really quickly, I know we're about to wrap up. I used to work with someone some time ago, and the way that he referred to me was his HR lawyer. And the reason I was his HR lawyer was because he knows, like I know, that I'm not an attorney, but my role was to mitigate risk. So to back what Letitia was saying, it's not about hiring and firing. We train, we coach, we guide, we keep people out of trouble. We keep people from being litigious and coming after you because you made a wrong decision, because you weren't consistent, because you didn't follow the rules, because you didn't understand fair labor standards, because you didn't pay somebody correctly. And that's not hiring and firing. That is everything in between. Yeah, we know how to interview, right? We want to help to coach you to keep your business alive, but we don't hire and fire. And you are really doing yourself a disservice if you don't get to know and better understand what the real function of human resources is, because it is so far beyond bringing somebody on and sending somebody home. It is truly everything in between. And so if you hear nothing else out of what I said, think of HR lawyer. We exist to mitigate risk. And by getting people involved in engagement, having the right systems in place, and making sure that in your business, you know the rules of engagement when it comes to operating in your state, that's who we are, and that's what we do. So I just really wanted to jump in on that, because I always used to think that was funny, but I was like, yeah, my job is to mitigate risk. I am not an attorney, and I don't play one on television, right? But I know what to tell you, when to act, when not to act, and I do the best I can to read the room and to coach you to do the same. So I just wanted to make sure I added that before we get ready to say farewell to our friends this evening.
That's very good, Nika, and summing that up. I always use the hashtag, even for myself, but just in general as well. It's like hashtag more than HR. Really, so much more than HR, but hashtag more than HR. There's more to it than what people think it is. Like Letitia said, it's like, oh, you guys are hiring, firing, and you always looking out for the company.
Yeah.
Let me speak on that for just a second. It's about balancing, about what's happening in the company. And like Nika said, it's like mitigating the risk. It's about balancing the company, making sure they are in compliance, because there are certain things that govern having a business. So compliance and employment laws are important. They are a necessity. That is the way of the world in which we operate, in which we live here on earth. Okay, so there's certain things that have to happen. There's no getting around it if you want to stay in business. Then the other part of that is, yes, it's looking out after the health, okay, the health of the company. We also have to hold the balance of, okay, what are the rights of the people that actually make up the company? So we have to be able to, have, first of all, tough skin, and then, be intelligent enough and have the wherewithal of what we're doing in human resources about balancing the company, making sure you're on the right track, mitigating those risks, but then also not, making sure that it's a balance where there is no abuse.
Right.
Abuse happening or neglect happening with the people who make up the company. So it's more, it's a balance between that, and it's a delicate balance that we always get the bad rep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always get the bad rep. And guess what? That bad rep has not stopped either one of these ladies, either one of us that are on here. We're still in this thing. We're still talking about it. We're still hearing it in big rooms and small rooms, big businesses and small businesses.
Yep.
But we have a particular heart for small businesses because that's what we are too.
Yeah.
So we intimately understand the pain point. We intimately understand how frustrated you get. Now you have a team. Now what?
Yep. What's next? What do you do with that team? Right? It's not about now we've onboarded that team or we've hired that, not even onboarded, right? Two different things, but we've hired them. Now what do we do with them? So
yeah,
Dr. Nikki says, so true. Say it for the nonprofits lacking these items.
Absolutely.
So
say it for the peanut gallery.
Yes.
But I think the thing of it at the end of the day is there's a reason. It was intentional. People first. Yeah. Because I know that when you put your people first and you treat people appropriately with respect and with dignity, and you establish the boundaries and the rules and the guidelines that fit your values, your organization, and the things that are important for your clients, everybody wins. And who doesn't want to win? And when we win, what do? We profit that part. Don't forget about it, right? But you gotta put the people first.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
thank you all so much for joining us today. For those that will catch the replay, per the usual, just drop #replay so that we know y'all caught it. Briefly, again, we will have our People First Summit hosted here in the Atlanta area on August the 4th through the 5th. You can register at peoplefirstsummit.com. And then, we gotta exit with leaving y'all our information. And so, Lisa, where can they find you?
So you can find me if you look up Lisa Ely Dreams. Anywhere I am, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, also on Instagram, and you might catch me hanging out on TikTok on a good day.
Most definitely. And you can find me, of course, on LinkedIn under my name, Delmar Johnson. And you can also check out my site at hrbrainforhire.com. All the information's there, but hrbrainforhire.com. I'm also HR Brain for Hire on Instagram. So I'm very easy to find. Easy to find.
And then you can find just IG is Russell Craigwell Consulting. You'll see it in the title here. That is on both Facebook and Instagram. And then LinkedIn, Letitia B. Russell.
So we appreciate those of you all who may still be on here live. We appreciate you all who stopped by and honked your horn and listened to a few things that we had to say. And we appreciate those of you all who were going to see the replay. Again, make sure that you share
Absolutely.
Even if you come in as a replay, make sure that you share, because we've dropped some nuggets somewhere that somebody needs to pick up.
Yep, absolutely.
And make sure that you check out peoplefirstsummit.com. Thank you all. Thank everyone that showed up and everyone that is in the replay. And thank you, ladies, for showing up as per usual.
Thank you, ladies. And Dr. Nikki, come on and spend your birthday with us, August 4th through the 5th. Come on and spend your birthday with us. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.